You need a theory of change.
It gets people involved in politics.
Has anyone had any problems with
How are you going to bring in
I'm here to say that collectivism isn't always bad, because it isn't. Here's a Facebook group we created about 2 p.m. the afternoon after the UK election. I invited my friends, went to make a cup of tea, and 3,000 people had joined when they got back. Immediate mainstream press attention helped with that. The whole thing was over in about an hour because the parties had issued statements saying that forming a government would take at least the weekend, my job was done, the media and civic discourse was slightly better afterwards, and I could go to bed. If you're ever in the same position, I'd advise against creating a newsworthy Facebook group when you've not slept in 30 hours. But in this case, it was the right tool to nudge the media narrative forward. It was rolling news we were targeting. It wasn't flooding people's mailboxes, but it was a show of interest. It was collectivism in one of its purest forms. It matters what you use your chosen tool for. Some of the tools are built by the people sitting next to you, and practice gets shared between the people in this room. But just as you share good practice with the person on your left and the person on your right, anything negative also impacts the person sitting in front of you and the person in the seat behind. This is a little website which shows just how much journalists cut and paste what they're sent in press releases. While we all bemoan that when it's from Migration Watch, is it really any better for journalism and democracy when it's from anyone else? We all know that getting a message out is hard, and picking the right message takes time and clarity, unlike that picture. That's even harder with the media hordes and the relentless ticking of the news cycle. There's no easy answer, but we do know that some of the current methods of what we are doing are going downhill fast, and there are problems ahead. 38 Degrees' explicit tactics and strategy currently takes collectivism to what I think is its self-destructive end. It's not engaged activism. It's not engaged anything. It's point, click, and, oh yes, please give 38 Degrees some money at the end of it. Their stated objective is to get as many people to send us letters as possible so they can write a press release. There's no denying that it currently works well for them. But here at ECF, at the gathering of the community, we shouldn't just care about them, and we shouldn't just care about now. The objective of this 38 Degrees campaign was the press release. When I sent this to 38 Degrees headquarters, it's addressed to somebody who isn't my MP. The start is Dear Insert MP Name. It doesn't have my name on it. It's not sent from a valid email address. 38 Degrees headquarters see a good thing because their counter went up by 1. They ignore any cost to democracy and any cost to engagement. And when 38 Degrees say publicly that 80% of their emails are customized, that does mean that 1 in every 5 messages is sent to Dear Insert MP Name. Is there anyone who doesn't quite see why some MPs might be getting a little upset by that? The problem isn't that it doesn't work. The problem is that it works for now. It's ill-informed one-click petitioning, masquerading as democracy, and giving all online engagement a bad name. But when it stops working, and it will stop working for MPs within the lifetime of this Parliament, only big organisations will be able to send certain types of online campaigns. Money will matter more than issues, and I'm convinced that is a very bad thing. Here is a very different view of MP campaigning, and you can see some of it. If you think that stopping a committed government plan to sell off the forests is hard, getting a private member's bill to be anything other than dead on arrival is even harder. Lighter Later and 1010 managed it using a highly engaged grassroots campaign, with email contacts all uniquely written through that form, and a page that switched to showing the right phone number to ring when email may not get there in time. It wasn't easy, and if a 38 Degrees campaign is the rough equivalent of extracting oil from tar sands, this is a semi-magical tree where the leaves are solar panels that generate electricity. Is there anyone in this room who thinks that atmospheric carbon dioxide is not going up? Just because we don't notice the external pollution from a bad campaign, it doesn't mean it didn't happen, and it doesn't mean that there aren't consequences, irrespective of whether we acknowledge them or not. The mass click-to-email strategy can look so attractive. Short-term measurable outcomes right now, yay! It's very tempting to do the campaigning equivalent of feeding a husky dog a large bag of sweets, to send lots of junk mail, and to do it because the campaign dog is looking at you with those big blue eyes. It'll be good for this campaign right now. But everyone who has ever been around a pet or a baby knows that if you put something in one end, it comes out the other. We need nuance. We need care. Whether or not you define activism as disturbing the present in service of the future, we should at least care that what we do in the present doesn't damage the future. It's looking hard enough already. Thank you.